Max Kellerman, I wanted you to hear this. I was going to bring this up earlier. It's necessary to bring up now. We all know that LeBron James has been absolutely sensational with his I Promise school, his foundation, the kind of charitable and philanthropic things that he's done is absolutely sensational. There is no question about that. He has been a role model. He has been a sensational individual. He's the greatest player in the world as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of things. But to call him a leader at this particular moment in time, that would not apply. When you talk to people inside the bubble, let me tell you what I heard, Max Kellerman. I heard, first of all, he was speaking out of pocket and was talking to the players in a fashion that really turned some of these young cats off. This is a new day. It's a new generation. And as we have said, in previous shows, when cats were out in the street protesting and things of that nature, just talking about the younger generation, they're not having it anymore. Well, guess what? The younger generation of players were not having what they were hearing from LeBron James because the fashion in which he spoke to them. So when he stormed out of there, I was told it was in part because of that. And he sort of came off like, I got mine, I don't need this, and walked out. Now, we later learned that the Lakers and the Clippers were the two teams that did not want to participate while the other 28 teams were willing to go forward. So fast forward from Wednesday, Max, to Thursday, meaning yesterday, they have a meeting. It's at least 2 players from each team that's in the playoffs. All right. In the case of the Lakers, I was told there were 4 guys. OK, there was an owner on the call from each team that was there, each team that's in the playoffs. An owner, of course, Michael Jordan was on the call, even though his team wasn't there because he's the chairman of the Labor Relations Committee. And Adam Silver led the call. And, of course, Michelle Roberts did most of the talking from what I was told. Well, LeBron James, or when everybody thought the meeting was over, LeBron James grabs the mic. And from what I'm told, talks for about 15 minutes. And he's talking about 15 minutes in a fashion that turned everybody off because they had already agreed to what they were going to do moving forward. And he was talking about, quote, the guys beneath me. I have to look out for the guys beneath me. To the point where you had people saying, what the hell you mean? Beneath you. Now, they didn't say that to him, but they certainly said it to people like myself, Woj, and others who are covering that meeting. He came across as if he was the king with some crown and what have you. And it was a real turnoff. Why is this relevant, ladies and gentlemen? It's relevant because you're trying to galvanize folks with your more than a vote movement. Mm-hmm. This is the same LeBron James that has that excellent show, executive produced by himself and my man Maverick Carter on The Shop on HBO. Remember, you're talking during that show, you want to be an owner. Well, you already alienated owners when you departed from Cleveland to go to South Beach the first time. You obviously were on the verge of alienating owners this time around. And this is a good old boys club. They don't have to let you in as an owner, which is what he ultimately wants. There's a guy by the name, I think his name is Larry Ellison, if I remember correctly, Max. For he's associated. He owns the Oracle, some software company. He's worth billions. Yeah, this guy has been trying to become an NBA owner for years. They won't let him in. So for LeBron to have these aspirations, but really turning people off the way that he has, some of the players, executives, owners, LeBron James needs to be careful. He usually sees the forest from the trees, Max. Over the last 2 days, that was not the case. He turned a lot of people off by how he tried to come across as if he were big time. He needs to be careful about that, from what I've been told by numerous people that were present.
And what was he talking about in those 15 minutes? Just that they shouldn't play the rest of the season? What was the crux of his argument?
No, he was just giving his opinion about his argument, Max and Charlie, was that he was trying to say to the owners, we need y'all's support. Are y'all going to do this for us? Are y'all going to do that for us? We need this. And everybody was like, we've already agreed. We're willing to do whatever you need us to do to help you. What are you talking about? And by the way, if you're going to speak and you call yourself a leader, why are you the last one to speak instead of the first one to speak? This is the kind of attitude. I don't know if they told him that directly, but I know several people have communicated to me what transpired in that meeting. Even folks that weren't in the meeting have heard about the reading. A lot of people are talking about it in Orlando because of how he came across. He did not look good. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.